I was getting worried. Hi, everybody. This is a Mobility Wednesday, and I just started the whole group that's coming on in our warm up for Mobility Wednesday. And so I gave you a little secret weapon. A lot of us have joint issues, a lot of us have feet issues. It's hard for us, because our feet just hurt. Well, I'm doing this whole section barefooted because I have a carpeted surface, so I don't have to worry about a hard surface. If you have to wear shoes, that's fine. But if you have an area that you can just ambulate around, which is what I'm doing right now. And I just introduced a little secret weapon here. Hi, everybody coming on. I see you guys out there. What's the secret weapon? I'm going forward and backward. I'm not going super fast, but I added an exhilarated arm pump. See, I'm taking my thumb and I'm just tapping my shoulder, okay? If you will do this for 30 seconds, seriously, 30 seconds to 2 minutes, pretty much every hour through your day. And when you think about that, that's not much, right? But if you really did get up and walk around, and instead of just walking around like this, you actually got your heart rate going without extra equipment, without going somewhere, without thinking, oh my gosh, I have to do that hard work. This is not hard, but this is very effective in getting your heart, your lungs, your muscles, your joints, and your brain. And how do you get your brain working better? You go across. See that? I'm taking my thumb and I'm just going across. And see, every time that I feel that thumb hit the shoulder, just press on the shoulder, I pull my tummy in. It's a trigger. I say rib cage up. I say shoulders down. And see, I'm just ambulating around the room. You could go in a circle. See, I'm going to turn and I'm just going to go in a little circle. So instead of going front to back constantly, I'm going to go in just a gentle circle. And I might do 2 or 3. And then I will turn and go the other way. Okay? Thumb to the shoulder. And every time the thumb hits the shoulder, what do we tell ourselves? Tummy in, rib cage up, shoulders down. Yeah. And if you're doing this for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, I will guarantee you're going to be breathing deeper. Your heart's going to be accelerated, which is going to strengthen it without risk. See, I don't have to go run a marathon. I don't have to do this super fast. I just have to be diligent in changing what I do through my day. Now, as I'm walking around here like this, barefooted, see, I have little sockies on so you can see my feet, all right? I used to do this. I used to put white socks on as we're finishing our warm-up here, and I'm going side to side, and then I can go forward and back. So it's a pumping action, okay? And then if I want to, I can do an accelerated knee lift. I don't have to. I can just keep walking. I can go front to back. I can go in circles. But once you've done this for a little bit, and now what I'm going to tell you is, as I go into our next move for our class, I know I was starting a story about what I used to do. When I came up here to Michigan in 1982, and I started teaching adult fitness classes. Now I'm going to go to the side. Now I'm going into our class, Mobility Wednesday. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take my hand front to back, keep my shoulders down. Every time I step across, I'm going to say tummy in, rib cage up, shoulders down. So when I started teaching classes in the state of Michigan, I was teaching at the active seniors in South Lyon, and I would teach at a nursing facility, nursing home as well. So a whole group of seniors came to me at a school gym, and then I would also go to a nursing facility, and I would do exercise with them sitting around in a circle. But I would have to use white gloves, and I would have to use white socks on my feet. And then they could see my movements. And I have my gloves on this morning for that same reason, number one. But number two, I want to warm up the joints in my hands too. So big breath. So we're working into Mobility Wednesdays, right? So periodically through that, I'm going to show you how easy it is to, if you will start doing this after a month, after 2 months, after 3 months, if they were testing you, if they were doing all the blood tests, all the oxygen uptake tests, all that kind of stuff, and you do what I'm going to do in this class today with you, you would see a pronounced difference in the way you handle glucose, in the way you handle oxygen, everything. So we did the first part just now because we did at least 3 to 5 minutes, front to back walking around the circle, but the secret weapon was what? Thumb to shoulder, whether you go across or whether you just come and you do your arm pumps like this as you're ambulating, you will elevate your heart rate. No extra anythings, just you doing it. Here's my chair right here. We're going to go through the whole core program today, but interspersed throughout this whole time that we're going to do together on our Mobility Wednesday, I'm going to do those little 30-second to 2-minute marching. Okay, we were marching to get warmed up, but what did I add? Thumb to shoulder, thumb to shoulder, thumb to shoulder. Yes. So here's my chair. So I am going to start with a big move. Okay, this is a big move for a lot of you. Okay. Now, when you go to put your knee, when you go to lift your knee and bring it to tap onto the chair, okay, right here. If you feel a little shaky on one leg, make sure you've got your pole. Okay, it's that simple. You could have another chair here. You could have a wall. So if you don't have either of those, get yourself your pole. Once you're going to use it, see, don't lean into it. Press down, but press down on both shoulders, okay? And after walking around and ambulating and warming up, when you go to put this knee up here like this, you don't have to do any more hard movement stretches or anything like that. This is simply mobility. And when you go like this and you push your butt back, don't even straighten the leg yet. Just stand up, push your butt back. You're going to feel just some nice movement stretching going on, okay? Now I'm going to go to the other side. Don't lean. Keep your tummy in tight. Do not lock your supporting knee. Keep it a little soft. Now all you're going to do is lean in. You're not going to straighten your leg or anything yet. See, I got my little pole here. I'm going to push my butt back and just lean in and like tap the chair. See that? So we're going to do that again. Take a big deep breath. Push down on that pole. Okay. Unlock your knee. Okay. You're not bending it. You're just softening it. Now you're going to push your butt back and just come forward a little. Just like that. See that? And then come back. So when you make this big forward move, and generally, if I were with you doing this move, of course, I would be standing right next to you, and here's where I'd put my hand. Because the minute that you start to come forward, I want to feel this stay extended. So I have to push my butt back gently, okay? So that I don't round my back, okay? I don't flex it, all right? That's a great move to get your back gently to stretch, okay? So now I'm going to go wide, all right? And I'm going to take my pole and I'm going to push it right out onto the chair back. See that? So push down and then come up, pull back in, and then push through your heels to come up, okay? This move could get you into trouble because you're asking your back to do quite a big move, okay? And if you try to keep your hands out and come up with your hands out, that's quite a lot to put right here. So here we go. Pay attention to the succession of motion. I'm going to push my butt back. I'm going to drop my shoulders, keep my chin tucked. Then I'm going to reach my bar out past the chair back if possible, okay? Now, I know some of you are saying, well, your arms are longer than mine. Well, I understand. So you just go here, okay? So push into your heels when you're in this position, right? Do not come up from this position. You're stretching. You're really pushing your shoulders out of the socket like, and then you push them back. So you're shoulder stretching, and then you're pushing back. So I'm hanging on to this back of the chair. I'm going to my ears with my shoulders, and then I'm pushing them back down. Okay, so I'm going to do this a couple of times. Push them back down. One more. Really reach to the ears with your shoulders, and then push them back down. Okay, now get ready. We're going to come up, but don't come up with your hands out here. Bring your hands in. Drop back into your heels. Tighten your tummy. And come up that way. It makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. Seriously. It does. Okay. So I'm going to put my little bar right there. Okie dokie. And I'm going to step forward. So I'm going to go into the core program. Okie dokie. And I have it here if anybody wants to see it. Okay. I should have had it out before, but anyway, it's all right here. Anyway. Okay. Hands go here. Put the knee forward. Put the leg back. Okay. And then as you're standing in this position, check your toes. Number one. So my knee and my ankle are pretty in line, the front. My toe in the back is what? Straight. Yes. My heel is down. So I'm going to go from here and I'm going to just take my hands in. I'm going to bring my elbows in. I'm going to take my thumbs. I'm going to put it over my head, but I'm going to keep my elbows in. Okay, now my caution to you is this. If you tend to be a little balance challenged, and any of us can get up any day and be balance challenged. And when you're standing in a split stance like this, see how I overbalanced and I came over here, but you can catch yourself. The whole thing is this. Here's the deal. You're going to get off balance. In fact, when you're doing balance work, I want you to get off balance. That's the work of proprioception, to get yourself, to keep yourself from falling, to get back in line. But do this safely. So you have to be by a wall. You have to have another chair here. You have to be able to put your hands somewhere to stabilize if you need it. Okay? Take a big breath. Now I'm going to bend that knee down, 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 down. I'm going to go down as far as I feel I can. Okay? I'm going to stay upright. I'm going to come up and I'm going to sink. So I'm not going to do a ton of repetitions. But what I am going to do is some movement challenges in these positions that's going to push you into proprioception. So now bring those elbows in. Take the thumbs and go back over your head. And you're looking under your elbows, but you want to try to get those elbows in. Drop your shoulders, rib cage up. Yes, drop your shoulders, rib cage up. Bring your elbows in. And then come open. Take a big deep breath. Put your hands down on the chair back and straighten that front leg. Pull that toe back. Okay? So you're in dorsiflexion on your front foot, okay? I think you can see this. So you're pushing that butt back and you're pulling that toe back and you're stretching through your leg, all the way through this front leg here. All the while, my heel at this point in the back is down. Okie dokie. Now, bring that knee in, switch legs. Bring the other one up. So now you've just traded with your front and back foot, and you want to really plant the heel in the back down. The front leg, my knee is pretty in line with my ankle, okay? Take a big deep breath. Now I'm going to go ahead and push myself to stand. And this is where I'm telling you, many of you may need to put your hand on the wall or your pole, okay? So when you come from here to here, you keep your shoulders down, your rib cage up, and you're really pressing that heel down and back. Okay, the one in front is down already, of course. Big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Yeah, just hang out here for a minute. Now, I'm going to go ahead and and you can do it with one hand at a time if you want to. If you need this pole, or if you need to put your hand on the wall to stabilize, do that. If you can bring them both together and hold this position and bring your arm up like we did before, like this, well then good, God bless you. See that? Bring your elbows in, say rib cage up, chin tucked, yeah, shoulders down, and you're looking under your elbows. If that's hard for you to do with both elbows, use your pole and bring this just like this. You can do them one at a time, no problem. But look at what's happening to the back leg. Okay, now I'm going to bend the back knee and I'm going to drop it down. Okay, now I'm pushing that back knee down as much as I can. Big breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Make sure you're upright. Use your pole if you need to. Here we go. Do one arm at a time and hang on to a wall if you need to. Okay, keep your chin tucked. Hang out here. Keep your knee down. Knee down, knee down, knee down, knee down. Big breath into the nose, out through the mouth. Bring them back down. And bring that leg back. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. It goes straight. Don't bring it back. So what you're going to do is release your toes and bring it back. Okay. So you're going to pull this toe back. So you've got a nice straight leg in the front and you're really stretching through. Take a breath, take a breath, take a breath, take a breath. Big breath, and step back up. Okay, now I'm going to grab my pole, all right, and I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to do one of those little breaks that I talked to you about. See this? See, I'm going front to back. I'm not going fast. but I'm taking a break and I'm like marching in place. Now, if you don't have, you know, a little area where you can do 2 to 3 steps, that's great. But guess what? If you can't, you can march in place. See this? And when you do march in place, I want you to do kind of like a pumping action with your knees. See? You're just coming up and pushing down. So a marching action actually is very different with the way you use your feet than walking or ambulating. If you're ambulating and you're barefooted like I am, I just have a sock on, that's all I have on, and I'm doing this with my palms up this time. So I'm pumping my arms as I'm walking. I'm taking 30 seconds to a minute to a minute and a half to 2 minutes. Okay? Every time that I come up, every time that bar hits right across the clavicle, I just remind myself to do what? Shoulders down, rib cage up, tummy tight, or brace. You're just bracing. And you're not walking fast. See, I'm not asking you to put a lot of hard work on your feet. I am asking you, if you can, to be barefooted with just a little sock on for protection of your feet. If you have a soft surface. So I'm doing a lot of forward to back motion. See that? This right here, this pumping action with the arm and just a simple ambulation or even marching in place. Do it for yourself. You'll see that you use your feet totally different than when you do this, marching in place versus ambulation or walking. Even if it's 2 or 3 steps, you use your whole foot differently, okay? Big breath, big breath, big breath. Let's do just a couple more arm pumps, just like this. So this is no extra time. This is no extra money. This is no extra equipment. I'm giving you a tool that if you did this throughout your day, anywhere, I said do it every hour. Do 1 to 2 minutes every hour. And some of you are like, oh, I can't do that. I have to watch my show. Well, stand up during the commercials, or if you don't have a commercial, just make yourself stand up and do that kind of a ambulation, 1 to 2 minutes. Set your clock by it. I just kind of know where my program's going this morning. And so I'm just taking these little breaks throughout. I may do 30 seconds. That one was about 2 or so minutes. Big breath. Yeah. Now I'm going to turn and I'm going to put my pole next to me. And I'm going to do a sit down and I'm going to swing my legs. Now, some of you are what I call fun people. You're fun sized. Okay. And you're fun too. But your legs swing. Okay. If you have long legs and you're in a normal chair, if you put your pad on the chair, this little pad that I have several more at the school that I'm going to be picking up and I can get it to you, but you can swing your legs. This is a good thing, okay? In mobility, especially when talking about knees, all right? So we're going to turn this little swing into quite a different motion. See this? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back and forth. I want to make sure I'm able to go back and forward. Now, what I'm going to show you right here is a really neat way to get through meetings. Like if you're in a really boring meeting, church boards comes to mind. Well, you put yourself a book on a chair so that you can actually swing your leg, okay? That's what I'm trying to get you to do. I'm trying to get so that you can easily swing your feet. See this? You know how you used to sit on a dock when you're a kid and swing your legs through the water or on the side of the swimming pool, okay? This is a very good thing to do, this right here. So I'm dropping my shoulders. I've made sure that I can swing my feet. See that? And what am I doing? My toes are in dorsiflexion. See this? This is plantar flexion or pointing. This one is dorsiflexion. This is a very, very important move to do on a regular basis. So now I'm going to take this from just a swing like we normally did to a hesitating hold, okay? So every time I come into this position right here, I make sure that I'm bracing, my shoulders are down, I'm leaned back just a little, like an inch. And then I bring this up. So switch your legs. I don't do them together because that puts a lot of pressure, which is fine if you want to, on your core and your back. Now, this is good pressure, but you've got to pay attention to how you're holding yourself. See how I'm holding myself in this position? My toes are in dorsiflexion. And now I'm going to add that point flex. And when I come up here, I'm holding it point flex with my toe. I'm really tightening this muscle right here. Yeah, it's not just one muscle. Quadricep. It's several muscles right here. See that? So open back, drop your shoulders in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bring your foot up, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion. Really make this muscle work. Then you switch. So this is not something you do that's hard, that's, really taxing. It is just getting those muscles to pull and to tighten up so that your knee functions better, so you have better mobility. Okay, and I can point flex, hold, point flex, hold, in through the nose, out through the mouth, point flex, hold, point flex, hold, point flex, hold, point flex, hold. For anybody out there that's had knee issues, if you especially have had arthroscopic surgery or you've had a knee replaced like I have, I can tell you, if you're working this whole thing with me right now, you're feeling that right here. That's where I want you to feel it, okay? This is holding me. Point flex, point flex, point flex, point flex. I'm looking here at my dogs. They don't care at all about this. Okay, how's that feel? I know it. Who would know? Okay, take and go out, step out with one leg. See that? See that? So I have one leg here, and I have one leg that I stepped out with. See that? Now I'm going to put my hand on this leg right here. Not the leg that I stepped out with. It's right here. And I'm going to turn. I'm going to look back. And I'm going to keep my knee forward. Don't let that knee come with you. So you should feel a pretty big stretch right now in your groin, in your back, in your shoulder. Whoa, this is a great move. When you're warmed up and you've done as many motions as we have through our joints, this is a good move. Okay, so I'm still on my little pad. One knee is forward. I'm going to take this knee and step out. Okay. So I've got one toe pointing this way and one pointing this way. Okay. So I'm going to put my arm back here, reach back behind my chair, keep this knee forward. Do not let it collapse on you. Say rib cage up. Say rib cage up as you're pulling yourself to look over your shoulder. You need to pull to look over your shoulder. Breath, 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 breath. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Okay? Now, hang on to your chair. We're going to stretch the backs of our hamstrings here, the backs of our legs. I'm going to show you how to do it safely. Okay? Many times I'll see somebody that I haven't seen in a long time. It could be a student or maybe a past client, or a lot of times it's students. Or somebody that I've never even had in my class and they just know that I, do training and all that. And they'll go, look, I can still touch my toes. And they may be, well past 50. And I just hold my breath because I'm so afraid they're going to pull their back out. Don't just stand up and go and touch your toes. That's not a good way to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it. See here, we're sitting in a chair. See that? I'm going to reach down. See? Keep my chin tucked. I'm hip hinging. I'm shining my tail lights. I'm going to reach down and bring my hands down my leg as far as I can. Okay? And I'm going to stand. And I've already bent down. See that? Okay, now I'm going to straighten my leg. I'm going to keep my head down just for a couple seconds. And then I'm going to go and sit back down. And then I'm going to put my hands here and help myself up. So I showed you how to stretch your hamstring from a chair position, okay? Now, you can stretch your hamstring laying down. Now I'm going to stretch it sitting down. I am going to be in the floor today, so I'm warning you, okay? If you don't want to get in the floor, you don't have to. Don't say, oh, I don't want to do that part of it. I'm going to show you a little modification. You can do it from your chair, okay? And here's the beginning of it. Number one, we're going to, now I don't need to be as high. See, I'm going to take this out, so I'm a little lower, okay, right there. I'm going to scoot to the edge of the chair. I'm going to open my hip. I'm going to drop my chin. I'm going to bring my leg up as far as I can, and I'm holding it with my arms. See that? See, here's what I didn't do that some of you tend to do. You go down here, you start to round your back, and then you go like this to pull this up. That is not what you want to do, and that's not what I'm doing right now. So, shoulders are down, chin is tucked, open at the hip, brace, say rib cage up, then bring the leg up, clasp your hands under, don't flare your elbows. You will want to, but don't do it. Bring it in here, and then bring that foot up as far as you can, and then come back down. And some of you might say, well, I can't get it straight. And so in trying to get it straight, you will actually round your back to try to get it straight. Don't do that type of a compensatory move, okay? Now I'm going to go to the other leg. So I'm going to go through this whole thing again. This is a very important move to remember. When you're traveling, especially, I have some real travelers online here. You sit on any bench, any chair, even you can sit in a plane seat. Scoot forward, lean back, drop your shoulders, brace, say rib cage up, bring your knee up, and just take that leg up as far as you can. See? Yeah. So I have done this in a plane. I didn't put my foot over the seat to touch the person's head. That might get me thrown off the plane. I did do it when I had a bulkhead in front of me, or if I had one of my kids in front of me. Okay, so point, flex, point, flex. Do not round your back. Say rib cage up. Really pull that in here. Yeah. Okay, and then back down. Big breath. Okay, we're gonna get down on the floor, and we're gonna do maybe 1 to 3 moves in the floor. I'm warning you about it. You could do it from your bed. You could do it from a couch. You could do it from a bench. You could do it from a chair. You don't have to be in the floor, okay? But we're gonna start right here, because we're gonna start with one of the foundational moves for your gluteals and your your whole antagonistic muscular system that go from your heel all the way up your back. And what's it called? It's called a hip lift, okay? Or a back bridge. Some people call it back bridge. I call it a hip lift. The one sitting, this is a modification. This is a very acceptable modification. See how I'm sitting to the edge of my chair? See that? That's number one. Number two, my shoulders are down. Okay? Number three, I step out a little further so that I don't impinge my knee because I'm going to take my butt up. Are you ready? Drop your shoulders. Bring your butt up right there. Yes. So what you're going to do is, depending on how strong you are or how this is working for you, see how I just drop my butt to the chair and then I push up and I squeeze my butt. Okay? Now, I can hold right here with one leg. This becomes a good challenge. Okay? Don't round your back. You just drop your hip and then you raise it. That's what's called a hip lift. See that? I'm raising it. And I'm pushing through the back parts of those muscles. Now I'm going to do 2 or 3. Then I'm going to go right here and shake out my hands. Now, those of you who don't want to get on the floor, and this is the one that you want to do, here's my trainer's tip. This works double. It starts really helping you get stronger and more mobile through your shoulders, okay? But you have to take breaks, all right? So I just took the first break. Now I'm showing you the modification because you're going to do this when we're in the floor, okay? Ready? Drop your shoulders, rib cage up. Now I'm on my other leg, okay? So I'm going to lift my hip and I'm going to bring the other leg is in the floor now because I'm doing one at a time because I want more of a load. Sorry, I have a big old horse in my throat this morning. No, I don't have COVID. I have dry air in my house. Breath. See how I'm dropping my butt? And then I lift it. See this? Then you lift it. Breath. Then you lift it. Breath. And you lift it. One more. And you lift. And then you come back down and come back down. Okay? Now, those of you who are going to do this sitting in the chair, you go, when you're taking your break, you go up and point. See that? Up and point. You take a break, and then you go back and do the same thing. Those of you who are going to get down the floor with me, and I haven't been down on the floor in a long time. I don't know why. We just haven't done it. So looky here. I'm coming to the side. Many ways to get down. This is acceptable. I just drop my knee and I come right here. If that is difficult for you, don't worry about it. Sit right in the chair and do the hip lifts. Then I'm going to go to the side. See this? I'm going to turn and sit on the floor as if I was in the floor doing a game or whatever with my kids. Or let's say you tripped on something and you find yourself in the floor. God forbid. But listen, the whole reason I'm doing this class is to help you manage your environment. There are going to be sometimes you're going to find yourself on the floor. If you have multiple joints replaced, you got to change things in order to get yourself up and not hurt another joint. But we're going to focus on the hip lifts right now. So the first one that you do is with your feet on the floor. Now, if you're pretty strong, and I'm not sure, I can't see the names that's on this morning right now, but you can go right to putting your heels in the chair, and that's the advanced. This is the advanced. Those of us who are just wanting to do the on-floor version, or let's say you're in the bed and you didn't want to get up, but you really want to get your gluteals, your back, your feet, your legs going. You're going to be right here, okay? Shoulders are down, chin is tucked. Start to squeeze in your butt, and you lift, and then you come down with your vertebrae like a string of pearls, one at a time, okay? You push down into the heels, squeeze your butt, come up one little vertebrae at a time till you're up as far as you can go. Squeeze good and hard. Then you come down one little vertebrae at a time, okay? And then you go into a bit of an arch, and then you come and you don't flatten your back. You just stay in neutral spine, okay? You don't force your back down here. You just stay in neutral spine, and you release. Then you squeeze the butt, lift, 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 lift. And then if you're ready and you want more work, then of course you do what we do in the chair. You bring one foot off the floor. You bring yourself down and up exactly the same way. And you just push and you lift that hip, and then you come down and you push into the heel and you lift the other foot up and you go up as far as you can, and you make that back hamstring work. And you got to be careful because this is really going to work through the gluteals and hamstrings quite a lot. Take a breath. Here we go. Lift and back down. Breath and push and lift and come back down and breath. Just one more. Here we go. Do 2 feet or one at a time. You get to choose it, or you could be here in the chair. Okay, but if you haven't done these in a while, you're probably not ready for that. And then come back down, okay? Now that leg comes in, and just check yourself here about your forward, your ability to go into a straight leg, and how far can you do it? Does it stay straight here? Does it stay straight here? Does it stay straight when you go way up like this? So what we're looking for in the test, you're good for normal people over, after their 50, 60 birthday, about 70% right here, if you can hold that. But if you can bring it in and go up, point flex, that's really, really good, okay? Bring your other leg up. See if you can go straight out low. Now your tummy's tight, your back is in neutral. See, I'm testing. I'm seeing how far I can go with this joint and go straight into a straight leg. See that? Now, some of us can go back here, but that's not, this is required right here. This is what we're wanting. We're wanting to see if you're flexible enough, mobile enough to be able to be at about this 70 degrees, about 70 degrees. See, this would be 90 degrees. This is about 70 degrees, and it's straight. Some of you might be very, very, very tight, and that's a difficult thing for you to do. So once you've done that, now we're going to just roll to the side like this. Then we're going to bring one leg up, down to the other side. So it's a nice rotational. Take a breath. Then I come up with one leg and up. Then I'm going to roll to the side. I'm going to be right here on the side. And so everything I just did, I can do everything from the chair. It will be a little different angle, a little different pull, but you can do all that range of motion right from your chair, okay? So here I am to the side. And I told you I was only going to do like 1 or 2, at the most 3 moves down here on the floor. So we did our back bridge or our hip lifts. It's called a hip lift. Now I'm on my side. I could turn this into a side bridge, which is just like this and back down, okay? Big breath. All right, so just push and lift your hip up and back down. Why is that important? Oh my goodness. Turn and do the other side because it's going to help you get off the floor. If you ever find yourself in the floor and you're all by yourself and there's nothing you can grab onto, push and roll and lift and come back down. So put yourself through this little mobility thing through your week, okay? So once you've gotten to this level, you push, you're coming down, you're right here on all fours, you go way into a big camel, a cat, camel, a cat, camel. Okay, it's just a nice move for your back. It's a very good mobility move for your back. So way up and way down. Breath, way up, way down. Okay, now I'm going to dig my toes in and I'm going to push back. And I'm going to hang out here for just a second till I get my bearings. See? And then I'll come up. Now, you could use the chair to get up. No problem at all. You could use the chair, absolutely, to get yourself up. But I'm showing you different variations. And what I just showed you was the stop, drop, and roll, and then getting yourself up so without hurting your knee. Okay? Big, deep breath. Yes. I'm going to stand right here. I'm going to work shoulders now. Shoulder mobility, right? I'm going to shift my weight into a whole open foot, splayed foot position. See this? So whenever I do that, I go side to side. So some of you just now did that. You went side to side, but you know what? I bet you if I were with you, you know what I would see that you did? I would see that you pushed your knee way out over your toe here. Okay, why do we do that? Because if you go side to side, something's got to bend somewhere. You're either going to bend here or you're going to bend here. Or you're going to do what I want you to do, which is push your butt back. Shift into a splayed toe, four corner foot hold. And see, I'm going to push my butt back, not to the side, back. And so I'm in that move, and I'm going to my toe. You do not have to take your toe off the ground. You do not. If you want to, that's up to you. But I'm going to come back into here. I'm going to push my butt back. My toes are forward. They're wide. I'm going to push my hip back. I'm going to bend this knee. Go to the toe. Okay? I may want to bring my toe up. Now, once you've done that, let's say you are here on your toe or you bring it up, then we're going to do our challenge. See that? So if I'm coming in and I'm opening, I'm saying rib cage up, I'm saying shoulders down, I'm saying knee is got to be soft. But if the knee is soft, the butt has to be pushing back. Because if it's not, then you're going to be pushing into your knee in a not advisable way, okay? So now I'm going to go and do the other side challenge one more time. I'm going to push my butt back, right? I may use my arms or I may not. So I may pull my toe up or not. And I'm telling you that if you're a person with double hips replaced, you're going to be getting into compensatory moves. If you have one hip replaced, if you have one hip that has arthritis in it, I am telling you, you are making weird compensatory moves. You're leaning way too much because you're using the stronger muscles to hold yourself. In order to not do that, I'm suggesting that you use a pole, a chair, a wall, and do this move without over leaning. Yeah, and you can move one arm up and back. So my butt is pushed back. My rib cage is up. Chin is tucked. Whoa, am I using my back extensors to do this? But if I don't use this powel to not overlean, I tend to not get into those muscles that I need to get into when I'm pushing and pulling my toe down and up, down and up, down and up. See this? This helps keep me upright instead of overleaning. My knee is soft, my butt is pushing back, breath, and then come back in. Now I'm going to use my pole right here. I'm going to step out here, back here, and behind me. Okay, so I'm going to go a 3-point tap. I have my pole here. Let's say I'm a little worried about my balance, okay? Then pull your chair around so that you can hang on to it. Otherwise, you've got your pole, right? And it's down, shoulders are down. I'm going to go to the side tap. I'm going to go side, back, and then I'm going to cross and tap behind. I'm going to go across like that. Here's the trainer's tip. When you do that move, any of them, but especially when you cross over, you must say rib cage up because you need to have a very extended back when you do this, okay? I'm going to go back and then I'm going to go cross. I'm going to come back to neutral, okay? And I'm going to walk, 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 walk. I'm going to do it again, okay? I'm going to go side tap, rib cage up, back tap, rib cage up, and cross tap, rib cage up. And then I'm going to come right back here and just walk, 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 okay? Then I'm going to go side tap, tight tummy, rib cage up, back tap, and then I'm going to go across. Make sure your rib cage is up, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then come back and walk, walk, walk. Now I'm going to put my pole down, and I'm going to do what we started as I'm going into the finish here. See the thumb? So some of you may have come on later. This is how we started today. And when you give yourself a target, see, if I just say pump your arms, a lot of times people go too fast or they go way up here or, you know, they're reaching out. None of that is necessary. I mean, whatever you want to do, as long as you keep your tummy tight, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, keep your shoulders down. The thumb comes to the shoulder. See? Just like that. And you could even go palm up. See that? You could do palm up if you wanted to make your shoulders stay back. You don't have to go super fast. You just have to take 30 seconds to 2 minutes and do a walk in place. And again, you can do marching. You can do just walking. But if you march in place versus ambulation, you use your ankle, you use your knee, you use your hip, you use your back differently. So I'm just telling you, do both, okay? But this kind of move, and you can pick whatever cadence you'd like to, but see, here's my target. And if I go like this, then I just tap the front of my shoulders. After I've done that for 30 seconds, up to 2 minutes, this is I would love to have people sign up on an experiment, and we would do all of our vital statistics. I would have your blood pressure checked. I would have your oxygen uptake checked. I would have your, all the different kind of markers in your blood. I can tell you that after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months of doing this kind of heart work, muscle work, it's called heart work, but it's everything work, for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, pretty much through your day. I would say do it once an hour, but at least 5 5 times, maybe 10 times in the day. Just walk and tap. Just walk and tap. You're going to move better. You're going to do, all your markers are going to improve. Every single one of them are going to improve. Okay. Mobility Wednesday. We're going to end with a very important motion that I used to do in class when I was with everybody. See what I'm doing? So I'm in my T. So if this is problematic for you because of a shoulder, do it lower. However, you're trying to get to where you're coming right out of the shoulder, that height, okay? And we're pointing the thumb. See, I'm just swinging one leg forward, one leg back, and then I'll switch. And I'll do this motion. So instead of just standing here, I am doing a leg swing at the same time that I'm doing this very important challenge. So one of the things is the height of your hands. It needs to be about shoulder height. But if that's a problem, do it lower. And the other thing is this. It's at the side of me. See, I'm not doing this out here. I'm doing it here. So bring it back. And you're trying to do about 20 to 30. Start with 10. If you are a shoulder person, and you've had lots of shoulder issues, this little move done with a whole shoulder girdle at the proper height, and I don't bend my elbows here. Whoa, this is the way back to function, to mobility, okay? Side swing, side swing, side swing, side swing, side swing. Okay, get ready. Drop your shoulders in through the nose, out through the mouth, rib cage up, palm up. See this? See, I'm not doing this. And I'm not doing this. See, I'm not doing this. I'm doing this. Right out at my shoulder. Arms are very straight. No bending at the elbow if possible. Now, if you have a shoulder issue or an arm issue, a back, a neck issue, the way to get into doing the full exercise here, or the full movement, of course, is keeping it easy. So that means drop it. That means do it lower and bend your elbow a little bit, okay? You have to bend your elbow a little bit if you have had issues and you're just getting mobility back, okay? And we're trying to do this from 10 to 30 slow rotationals. And you can either walk or you can swing your leg front to back. But keep your palms up. Okay, we're heading into the final stretch here. Stay with me if you can. I know, I'm right there with you. Take a big breath, big breath, big breath, and bring them down. Woo! So I'm telling you, I will be here Friday. I know in your schedule on the live Zoom class, it says I'm not, but I changed my schedule, so I will be here Friday. Okay, and I will let you know then if we're going to be on Monday, because on your schedule it says, on your live schedule it says no Friday, no Monday, but we will be here Friday. So you come in and I'll be here with you live on Friday. Okay, good job.